Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got two teams here looking to find a way to win. It's the Saints coming in at 4-1, going up against the Cowboys, who come in at 4-0. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. As usual, the streets of the nearby French Quarter are alive as we are in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3". First down, Campbell. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The son Reddick in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, he might be a little jumpy as well. Might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, Zeke with a quick. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. 30, 20, 10, for touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, an even 90 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, from back where that one started, they were hoping probably for just a few yards on the ground there. Instead, they get 90-plus and into the end zone.
And as much credit as I have to give the guys on offense, I often think when I see a run of that magnitude that there has to have been a mistake made, maybe even multiple mistakes on defense, because you're expecting them to run the ball from that stage of the field. Instead, it turns into one of the longest runs that we're going to see in the NFL.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The son Reddick in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long third down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Six yards here to go for the offense on second down. Again, it's Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
And that's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no 1st down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And they'll have it just 5 yards away from pay dirt here, 1st and goal.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out of here.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They come out here in the eye. And now it's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And it's good to make it 14-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 2nd down, Campbell. And he will force his way forward for a yard or 2, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back.
Offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
He'll drop to throw. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is fielded at the 27. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt. 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
And Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They'll keep it on the ground. Campbell, and he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now back to throw. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. I don't know what was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or something.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jalen Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how
now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The son Reddick in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. On third down, it's Campbell, and he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Taking it about the 36. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
The best defensive lineman They play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference, defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
In motion right, Dorsett. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Saints with an extra defensive back here on third on the field.
Could they blitz?
Prescott to throw it. And able to find Dorsett. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Philip Dorsett, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. He'll look to throw. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They'll set up a throw. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Open man left side is Gronkowski. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. They'll drop the throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided. And no update from Larry this week, apparently. We'll try again in week 7. But for now, let's get back to the action, ready to kick off the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Throwing, Prescott. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. And the Cowboys will call on Dan Bailey here. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one is right down the middle. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On 2nd down now. Campbell, space to maneuver at the 40. And a cutback right sideline. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness? The burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, Good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
8 yards to go here on second down. Now Prescott. And he rifles one incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. Third down here.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taking it about the 16. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll run on first down. Campbell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll keep it on the ground. Campbell. And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Play action now, Prescott. And he's got it. And he's brought down. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Demarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk complete. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field. And now here come the Cowboys. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Fresh set of downs here. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field. Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. 2nd down following the run. Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here He's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Cowboys on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Prescott. He's going to wind up and air it out. The swing pass caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That time a 6-play drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The Son Reddick in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
They'll set up to throw. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He gets away from one. He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Glennon. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. A good pickup there, a 22. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Glennon. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The Son Reddick in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. And
that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing, and trying to tackle an elusive tailback, ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
This will be taken in at the 1.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Now Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. Hard to call this guy a game manager, but that's really all he's needed to do. The running game, fantastic.
And they've actually put themselves in a spot where they're able to close the game out, doing what you would want to do in this situation anyway, run the football. But they don't have to ramp up into it. They're already there. They've been establishing it the entire game.
Now they can keep that running theme. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
Now they bring a receiver in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. This is complete to guess who? Gronkowski again. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They're going to look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And now they'll head to the bye week as they'll be back in action in Week 8. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From New Orleans, good night, everybody.